Alright, guys. So, next day, and I watched the next Hunger Games movie. I'll start out with just the numerical review. I'd rate it the same as the first one, 8.5. Although I think it excelled more in some areas and fell short in others. I think that the first movie actually kind of had like a more unique directing style and was overall better. Sorry, I had a hiccup. Um, had an overall better directing style and like had way less CGI. It just looked way more real, which I especially think is important when you're doing like a survival story. When they're in the arena, they are in a survival story. So that was definitely like a definite downside of this movie. I'm sorry. I don't know why whenever I start recording I start yawning. But yeah, that's like the area where I say that it definitely is worse than the. Wait, what did I just do? Yeah, so the direction's definitely worse. Um, and the plot basically picks up on what I was suspecting in my last review. Like, it's not exactly clear how much she loves PETA, or is she just like acting for the cameras and she really loves, her like boyfriend back home, or I don't really know if they're boyfriend and girlfriend. I think they're just like in love. Um, and yeah, so basically, her and PETA's relationship is like not active, so it becomes clear that she was acting. However, keep watching the movie and that becomes not true. Uh, Basically, she comes home and her old boyfriend is there, and she essentially has to say she was acting just to save face, I think. I think she personally loves both of them, but obviously that's not allowed. So she has to just sort of put PETA on the back burner for now. And she's traumatized. She has PTSD. There's a hunting scene where she has PTSD. Like, again, the problem with the first movie, there is a problem with overacting, particularly from her. I do like her. I think she's very cute. I'm comparing her to Gal Gadot. Like, Gal Gadot is definitely a worse actress, but I think people like her because she's like got a cute personality. She's pretty. She's like upbeat. So I think Jennifer Lawrence is also like that with this movie, but she's just not a great actress, really not. But she's got very nice eyes, I've noticed. Um, and anyway, now she's in this Victor's village and she has like an actual house, so that's kind of nice. And I really like this scene. Like I said, I really enjoy President Snow. He was always my favorite since I was a kid. Um, and he's just like in her house and he's sitting at the desk and basically he's like telling her that her defiance in the last movie, not willing to kill PETA, has inspired rebellions across the districts. And he basically orders her to use the upcoming victory tour to convince everyone her actions brought her genuine love, not defiance. Snow threatens the destruction of District 12 with thousands of people dead if Katniss does not comply. Snow reveals Snow reveals that he knows about Katniss's relationship with Gale, and basically Effie is, or is it Effie? I think it's Effie. Is like the lady in the pink, who I actually kind of liked in this movie. She's kind of sweet, and she's basically there to prep them. And there's actually this kind of nice scene where PETA and Katniss hug, but then they slip on the ice and they like land on top of each other and the cameras are there and they kiss. I actually kind of liked that. It was very cool. So basically, Haymitch tells them that the show of their relationship must continue for the rest of their lives. Basically, they're going to be like turned into celebrities slash propaganda tools, and they won't be able to ever go home, really. They'll just be like characters in the show for the government. And they basically do the tour across the districts, and things go wrong, and like people get beat up by security forces. They go to a party at Snow's mansion, which I liked. I always liked his house. These are just all things from I remember when I watched the movie when I was quite young. I always enjoyed his home. He just has an aura in general. Everything is cool about President Snow. I like that he dresses in red like the devil. I like that he kind of talks slow. I like that he has like a white beard and white hair. He's kind of reminds me of there's a few episodes from the Twilight Zone that revolve around like the devil visiting a person, and he reminds me of like a devil character from Twilight Zone. It's kind of a specific obscure reference, but you know, depending on who's watching, may not be. Returning home, Katniss warns Gale of Snow's threat to kill their families. Katniss knows that Snow is not convinced with the tour and will crack down on her and Gale. Katniss wants to run away with Gale, but before she can, the Peacekeepers arrive. Gale refuses to run away as he's worried about the people who will stay behind. Gale is adamant people want to fight the Capitol. Peacekeepers crack down on District 12, and they do like some raids, and basically Katniss is almost, whipped in the streets, but then her celebrity status buys her a reprieve. There's also these cool scenes that I like from, what's his name? It's played by, Plutarch, his name is, the new game maker, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Basically, they devise a plan to, like, kill Katniss, but in, like, a way that will make sense, or to destroy her reputation by making her seem like a killer on TV. They're basically going to do a new Hunger Games, but it's going to only be from the pool of winners. So this is actually a good twist, and it was kind of like devastating to know that like she's not safe, even though she won. Basically, so everyone's like drafted again, and they go on that show, which I actually really like. The show, it's like a mix between the Oscars, a fashion show, and like ESPN, and it's with Stanley Tucci, an actor that I really dislike, but he's actually great in this movie. He's really funny. He like keeps laughing really loud and comically, and they do their thing. Katniss wears this wedding dress that was supposed to be for Peeta, which turns into a mockingbird. And then she goes in the tunnel or the tube to go up to the arena. And then her dressmaker, Cinna, is like beaten, probably killed, which I actually remembered. I remembered that scene from when I was a kid. So it is a good scene. Yeah, and then the rest of the movie is basically like the same arena thing, but there's little hints throughout that people are on her side, but she doesn't know quite what, and then it's hinted that Plutarch is on her side, and then it ends with she like devises a plan to like shoot this arrow connected to a wire hit by a lightning, and then she blows up the sphere, which I didn't predict, and that was pretty cool. And then she's evacuated, and they reveal that Peeta's been captured by the Capitol, but Haymitch and Plutarch are basically saying that, like, we wanted to extract you the whole time and, like, create you as like a symbol of this rebellion we're gonna wage. And they're bound for District 13, headquarters of a new rebellion, and that half the tributes were aware of the plan to escape with Katniss as a symbol for the rebellion. And Katniss was like really upset they didn't get Peeta, and she was really mad. And she later awakens to find Gale by her side, who reassures her that her family is safe, but tells her District 12 was destroyed. It seems almost kind of dumb. First of all, this is a good movie. But like with the other Hunger Games movie, and I have a feeling like this series in general, it's like good, but it's got some flaws that like hold it back from being like very good, I think. And why I'm saying that now is like, wouldn't it be a better ending if she wakes up and that her family's dead? And now all she has is Peeta. And like, this other guy, Gale, can stay alive, and at the end she can choose. And she probably chooses Peeta at the end. Wouldn't it be better to like motivate her that her family's dead? I mean, that's better writing, right? And then another problem with this movie, same problem with the last movie, is like moments that should be really epic are kind of like brought down. Like this last twist where she finds out that, the game maker's on her side. Haymitch is, trying to form a rebellion. All this stuff, like, it was like slightly built up with, the contestants hinting, and then Plutarch basically like was trying to keep her alive. That was hinted, but ultimately the scene doesn't work super well because I don't know if it's with the acting or is it not fully built up enough, or maybe I have like a mental issue, or maybe I have brain damage. I don't know. For me, it didn't have that punch it should have. And I think that's like a common theme with this series. It's a little bit weak at points that it should be really strong. Now, having said that, it is quite entertaining. It is interesting. Like, it's an interesting government system. I like President Snow. President Snow's my guy. He's a cool dude. I'm rooting for him. I'm voting for him in the next election if he comes up here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't support what he's doing. Okay, let's be serious here. Anyway, but basically, like, the film is like kind of like let down, maybe by her acting mostly, but also I think it's not built up properly at some points. But I did like this movie. I liked President Snow. He had aura. I thought Peeta and Jennifer Lawrence, or Peeta and Katniss, their romance continued well. I forgot to say, like, they did rekindle their romance, and it's clear that she wasn't acting the first time, but it's also clear that she can't, like, separate from Gale, and I don't think she doesn't love him. I think she loves two people at the same time, which is complicated, and I don't think she can say it. So she has to pretend that, she just likes Peeta for the politics of, like, they're making a show for the government. I do like Peeta as a character. I think he's a good dude. Katniss is pretty good too, but I think her acting maybe is lowering her down. Gale's alright. Haymitch is pretty good. I liked this character. Where is she? She's not here. It was I don't remember, but it was like the woman. This is gonna sound a bit strange and out of nowhere, but she takes her clothes off in an elevator. That character I liked. She was fun. And then, did I like any other characters? Yeah, I thought the black guy character was pretty good. Not this dude, although I thought his exit was quite good. It's the black guy from Casino Royale. I have this weird memory. It's a very small memory, but it sticks in my head for some reason. But let me first show you who I'm talking about. Oh, this guy. This was the black guy I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be racist, but I thought it was Jordan Peele at first. Don't these two guys look similar? This is like double racism. It's like all bald people look alike and all black people look alike. These people look very similar. I mean, come on. Anyway, so I have a funny memory about Casino Royale. So this was probably like early 2019 or something. And maybe even late 2018, but I don't think so. I think it was early 2019. It was pretty late. I was at my friend Zach's house, and we were like looking around for movies. We picked Casino Royale, but we were waiting for my friend Ethan to come, and he was like at hockey, and he was having to drive over, and he came last minute, and we watched this movie, Casino Royale, and at the end of the movie, Ethan was like, that was like almost like a James Bond movie. I'll never forget it. I was like, what? What do you mean? It is James Bond. I don't know if it's just he got hit in the head or something during that hockey practice or whatever, but it was very funny, and for some reason I remember it. It was a very small memory, and I certainly have more memorable memories, but that one for some reason has stuck with me, and I like it, and I'm sure he doesn't remember it, but I'm sure nobody remembers it because it's so small, but it stuck out to me. And yeah, great movie, Casino Royale. I do have a review of it. One of my favorite movies for sure. Ava Green. She's one of my celebrity crushes, I think. She's like a Jewish princess. She is in the movie that I want to see, Kingdom of Heaven. I want to see the director's cut, which I hear is really good. I'm going to watch this soon, and if I do, I will do a review of it. But you see, look at those eyes. I mean, that is unique eyes. I think she's like Ashkenazi and Sephardic, if I remember correct, or maybe she's half Ashkenazi or half Sephardic. I forget. Oh no, she's half Sephardic, half French. Yeah, okay. So that's why she's so pretty. Yeah, but people age. She still looks good, but people age, let's be honest. Especially women. But she is quite beautiful. This movie's got a great cast. Let's see. This is my channel. We just go off topic. Orlando Bloom, Liam Neeson, one of my favorite actors. Ava Green, one of my favorite actresses. Orlando Bloom, I don't know if I said that. Oh, Jamie Lannister's in it from Game of Thrones. Oh, this guy's great from Equalizer. And then Jeremy Irons is in it, but for some reason he's not listed. I notice sometimes with IMDb, it's just they don't list some people, which is stupid. Anyway, that's been my review of Catching Fire. I will do the last two probably over the weekend and get those out. As you can see from the IMDb rating, the last two are rated in the sixes, so the rating isn't very good, but from my memory as a kid, I do remember liking the finale a lot. Now we'll see if that opinion remains true watching it like 10 years later. But I remember a lot of people didn't like it, but I did, so we'll see if that holds true. I don't exactly remember if I like this one, but we shall see. Alright, guys. Peace out. Saucy Boy out.